from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at the ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation. We're ready to bring you the top stories at home and around the world. I am Charita Minipurarachi.
And I'm Hushain Ali. Let's have a look at the headlines first.
Examination Commissioner says all payments pertaining to teachers over the evaluation of advanced level answer papers has been completed. Government prepares to resume suspended development projects following the completion of the debt restructuring process. An imprisonment not more than a year and a penalty on those who make offensive remarks against religions. Passports to be delivered to applicants' residences within a span of 3 days. A change in this year's voters list form. Polonnaruwa farmers allege that the fertilizer subsidy has not been implemented properly. Ukraine forces claim 20 Russian drones have been destroyed.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top local story. Examination Commissioner General Amit Jayasundara says all payments for teachers who took part in the answer paper evaluation of GCE Advanced Level Examination have been completed.
And he made these remarks in response to the withdrawal of teachers from the evaluation activities in 13 examination centres in Kurunegala district. The GCE Advanced Level Examination for the previous year was held from January 23rd to February 17th. Even though the answer paper evaluation of the examination was scheduled to be commenced with the conclusion of the exam, the process was postponed until May 19th due to various demands of university lecturers and teacher unions. Subsequently, the evaluation of answer papers was commenced at 32 centres. Those who engaged in evaluation process receive an allowance of 2,000 to 2,900 rupees based on the distance, and they are also entitled for a fixed amount for each paper. The examination department decided to extend an allowance of 15,000 rupees considering the request made by certain entities due to the prevailing situation. However, Ceylon Teacher Services Association in a media briefing today said that this allowance has reduced to 10,000 rupees. Meanwhile, responding to this claim, the Examination Commissioner General said that there has been a problematic situation in issuing advance payments due to the existing monetary regulations. He also said that 15,000 rupees payment for the boards has to be changed to 10,000 rupees due to the existing regulations. However, he said that it is not about slashing the allowance. However, Ceylon Teacher Services Association said that the examination department has not extended the promised amount in a proper manner. General Secretary of Ceylon Teacher Services Association Mahinda Jayasinghe said that the teachers of 13 examination centres of the Kurunegala district has stepped out of duties since they have not received the said 10,000 rupees. He said that the department is carrying out a fraud by sending messages citing that they have deposited the funds while the banks are yet to send verifications over the payments. Examination Commissioner General Amit Jayasundara said that the fund crediting procedures take up a certain time and the department text message is sent at the time of the funds releasing. He further said that all the payments to the entire 288 assessment boards have already been completed.
Government says the suspended development projects will be resumed following the completion of the debt restructuring process. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena made these remarks during the media briefing held today to announce the cabinet decisions. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the representatives of the Asian Development Bank has agreed to provide $53 million to make other actions successful until the debt is restructured. He said that the President and the government are expecting to successfully complete the debt restructuring program by September this year. Cabinet approval has been granted to resume the light rail transit project. The minister said that all the suspended development projects can be resumed again if the debt restructuring efforts are successful. The minister also said that the president, prior to his visit to Japan, has received the approval from the cabinet to make sure that no agreement to an investment project signed between two countries can be altered or terminated without the approval of the parliament. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawardena also mentioned remarks over the supply of power for the Poson festival. The minister said that the transmission of the national television will be suspended if they fail to make the necessary payments for the electricity supply. Even though the state agency is rendering a national service, he added that the Vesak festival was celebrated around the country with the government sponsorship. He said that the main Vesak zone in Gangarame was organized with the mediation of the President's office and the Prime Minister's office. He said that the electricity bill were covered by the President's office expenditure. He also added that he is involved in the Pozon zone in Pitipana, Homagama, and he was informed to prepay the electricity charges today. He also said that it is the common policy for the entire country regarding the electricity. The government emphasizes that the fertilizer required for the yellow season will be provided without any shortcomings. A special voucher system to purchase the fertilizer has also been initiated. Fertilizer required for yellow season has been distributed across 561 agrarian services centres in the country at present. The government has indicated that steps have been taken to distribute TSP fertilizer for all farmers as well. However, Bedumele Agrarian Organisation in Polonnaruwa has alleged that the fertilizer subsidy has not been implemented properly. Minister Mahinda Amaravira, speaking at a media briefing held today, said that 10 billion rupees have been allocated by the government for the fertilizer vouchers. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that several criticisms have been received regarding the issuance of vouchers. He said around 10 days will be taken to complete the task and is still under the process of issuing them. He further said that certain political factions are attempting to criticize and demotivate the farmers with such antics. The minister said that if a farmer has not yet received the voucher by this weekend, informed to the ministry in order to take necessary measures. He also added that the voucher is mainly aimed at MOP fertilizer and not even 5% of the country's paddy cultivation has reached this level.
Meanwhile, the Immigration and Emigration Controller General Harsha Ilukpiti announced the implementation of an online passport application system in the coming days. This is in line with President Ranil Wickremesinghe's initiative to digitize public services. During his appearance on the Ekasieka Katha program produced by the Presidential Media Division, he highlighted the development of this procedure and its wide availability. This new process aims to streamline the passport application process and ensure that passports are delivered to applicants' residencies within a span of 3 days. To facilitate the efficient delivery of passports, 50 regional secretariats across the island have been equipped with the necessary facilities. Once applicants submit their relevant applications to the nearest regional secretariat and complete the required procedures, the passport will be dispatched to their residence via a courier service within 3 days. Under the new system, individuals can conveniently apply for passports from their homes by visiting www.immigration.gov.lk. Before uploading the soft copy of the form, applicants can specify whether they prefer the expedited 3-day service or the standard 2-week service. Following this, applicants must visit their divisional secretariat to provide their fingerprints and make the required payment via the online system offered by the Bank of Ceylon. For those unable to complete the process at home, they can visit an authorized photo studio under the Immigration and Emigration Department to obtain necessary documents and fulfill the requirements. In case individuals encounter difficulties making online payments after visiting the divisional secretariat and providing their fingerprints, alternative payments facilities are available. After submitting their fingerprints, the divisional secretariat will provide a designated number which can be presented to the Bank of Ceylon. The amount due will then be transferred to the Immigration and Emigration Department.
And meanwhile, Minister Dr. Vijayadas Rajapaksa says interpretations are available in the penal code to impose an imprisonment of not more than 1 year or a fine if the religious ideologies and spiritual leaders are criticized in a manner to inflict an emotional harm on a specific religious community. The minister made these remarks during a media briefing held today to clarify on the legalities pertaining to the expression of views and opinions against various other religions.
The
minister said that no individual has the right to express opinions in a manner which would promote division among the people. He said that in the recent times, subtle and systematic conspiracies have been carried out to break the religious harmony. He said that according to the penal code, if someone criticizes a certain religion or in a way that hurts a certain religious group, they can be punished with imprisonment of not more than 1 year or a fine and can be punished with both. He added that if the act carries out hatefully, the imprisonment can be extended to 2 years. Accordingly, the International Charter on Political and Civil Rights, the minister said that if anyone tries to create a conflict among ethnicities and tries to break the religious harmony and proven wrong, the High Court has the right to pronounce 10 years of imprisonment. Minister also said that they have received the ministerial approval on the establishment of Truth and Reconciliation Commission and expecting to commence it by next week. The Minister of Defence, Pramita Bandarathinakon, raised concerns into the various elements with vested interest aimed to disrupt the prevailing peaceful situation by igniting religious disputes in the country. In a statement, the minister said that there are obvious signs that another crisis is being triggered in the country once again, especially at a crucial time when the country is on a path of recovery from a severe economic crisis that was acutely experienced in recent times. He further said that the government will not hesitate to strictly enforce the law in accordance with the Constitution and the Penal Code. And meanwhile, Minister Kehele Rambukwala instructed officials yesterday to take necessary steps to reduce the prices of medicine urgently based on the fluctuation of the dollar rate. Instructions were issued during a discussion held at the Ministry of Health. High-level officials representing Ministry of Health, National Medicinal Drugs Regulatory Authority, State Pharmaceuticals Corporation and Medical Supply Unit. The price of medicines increased drastically after the dollar rate increased significantly from 190 rupees to 370 rupees. However, the rupee is gradually appreciating against the US dollar. Therefore, the minister pointed out that the prices of medicine should be reduced by a minimum of 15% compared to the drop in the dollar rate. The president has pointed out that the need for the establishment of an international laboratory in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, the minister instructed the ministry officials to take necessary steps in this regard.
In the meantime, the tenure of the $1 billion credit facility provided to Sri Lanka has been extended. An amendment agreement was signed in the presence of State Minister Shehan Semasinga at the Finance Ministry today. The State Bank of India extended the tenure of the $1 billion credit facility provided to Sri Lanka for procurement of essential items on March 17th last year. With the signing of the amendment agreement, the credit facility will be available for use for the government for a period of 1 more year till March 2024. The facility has been used for urgent procurement of fuel, medicines, food items and industrial raw materials as per the requirements and priorities of the country. Under the initial agreement, out of the $1 billion credit facility, $576.75 million worth material have been imported. Accordingly, State Minister Semasinga said that the agreement has been extended for remaining $423.25 million. The State Minister said that the import of essential medicines will be prioritized during next year.
Chinese Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs Sun Weidong called on Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees today. The Chinese Vice Minister on Foreign Affairs is in Sri Lanka for the 12th round of diplomatic consultations. The Chinese Vice Minister assured that China will increase investments in several areas such as agriculture, trade and commerce, ports and infrastructure development in Sri Lanka. He also said that China will continue to provide economic assistance as well as support to Sri Lanka's debt restructuring program. The Prime Minister expressed gratitude for the government of China for helping them given at natural calamities such as tsunami and the COVID pandemic, as well as for the efforts to overcome the current economic crisis. Prime Minister Gunawardena said that Sri Lanka has enjoyed excellent friendly relations with China for many centuries, throughout which Buddhist relations have been continuing. Chinese Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs Sun Weidong is leading a foreign ministry delegation to co-chair the 12th round of diplomatic consultations between the two countries with Secretary Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka Aruni Vijayawardena. Tourists allege that even though local and foreign travellers are being charged to visit the Upper Dialuma Falls section, facilities have not been provided for them.
Accordingly, they have claimed that there is no validity to the ticket issued to visit the area. A large number of tourists are visiting the Dialuma Falls these days. Several months back, Haldulmulla Pradesh, Sabah, authorities took steps to charge from the tourists visiting to witness the waterfall. Accordingly, foreign tourists are charged 350 rupees a person and 50 rupees from local travellers. However, they have alleged that there is no facility available at the centre built for tourists to rest.
Having a look at the weather condition, many parts of the country are experiencing an extreme heat condition at present. Doctors have urged the public to adhere to appropriate measures to safeguard them from this extreme heat. The Met Department has said that the extreme heat condition will prevail mostly in northern, north central and eastern provinces and Monoragala and Hambantota districts. The temperature felt in human body is expected to increase up to a caution level in these spots. The Met Department has said that the high humidity level in the atmosphere and the activation of the southwestern monsoons have contributed to this situation. The extreme heat will be severely affected in urbanized regions, with the most extreme heat levels will prevail between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. The Met Department has said that the extreme heat condition will gradually ease with the expected changes in the winds in the future. Doctors have urged the public to adhere to appropriate measures to protect themselves from the extreme heat. Accordingly, public has been urged to remain hydrated and direct an extra attention on the elderly and those who are suffering from ailments.
Cabinet approval has been granted for a resolution presented to enter into a MOU between Sri Lanka and the Maldives on cooperation and mutual assistance in customs matters. The relevant proposal was presented by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The purpose of this MOU is to strengthen, promote and improve cooperation and mutual assistance in customs matters, as well as to strengthen mutual understanding and communication between the two parties. The Attorney General's clearance has been received for the drafted MOU for this purpose. The approval of the Cabinet was granted for the signing of a MOU between Maldives and Sri Lanka on cooperation in the field of health. The relevant proposal was tabled by Minister Keheliya Rambukwala, and the MOU will be signed with the aim of strengthening cooperation in the field of health between the two countries by improving health services, promoting research and development activities, and improving the overall well-being of people of both countries. Cabinet approval was granted for the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. The relevant proposal was jointly presented by Ministers Vijaydas Rajpaksha and Ali Sabri. The Commission will be established taking into account the work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union has agreed to further strengthen the international media cooperation and the process.
The aim of this program is to maintain this cooperation at the highest level in the face of the present challenging global situation. Established in 1964, the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union is considered as the world's largest broadcasting media collective. 253 regional media agencies are bearing membership of the union. The national television has been a full member of the Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union since 1984. Secretary General of the union, Ahmad Nadeem, who is currently in Sri Lanka, engaged in a tour at the Rupavahini Corporation. An official discussion was held between the Union Secretary General and Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, W.B. Ganegala. The Union Secretary Director General has attention over the background required to expand the existing process while appreciating the long-term international contributions made by the national television. Senior officials of the national television were present at this occasion. And meanwhile, registration of persons for the voters list 2023 has commenced. Election Commissioner General Saman Sri Ratnayaka said that a change has been made to the voters list from this year 2023. The Election Commissioner General said that with the COVID pandemic, the economic crisis, they were unable to carry out a proper census during this period. Accordingly, he said that they used new technologies in this regard. Also, he said that the applicants will have the opportunity to include their name using the online platform. He added that the new system has been prepared using both the methods.
Now let's take a look at several local news items in brief. A special discussion was held today over the commencement of the direct flights from Istanbul, Turkey to Kadunayka International Airport. The meeting was held between Minister Nima Siripala de Silva and Turkish Ambassador Demet Sekrucu. The minister emphasized that commencing direct flights between the countries would bolster Sri Lanka's tourism industry while simultaneously fostering stronger economic and cultural ties between the two countries. The special commemorative stamp and first day cover were issued at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. In commemoration of former Minister, Leader and General Secretary of Ceylon Workers' Congress, late Arugam Tondaman. The Intelligence Institute, affiliated to the University of Colombo jointly with ICANN Institute, organized a workshop to promote .Lanka and .Ilenge domain names. It was held at the Sri Lanka Development Administration Institute. In line with the program, the use of e-messaging and email in both Sinhala and Tamil was introduced. Minister Prasanna Ranthunge instructed two officials to expedite the Eastern Megapolis Development Plan. Steps have been taken to direct more attention over tourism, fisheries, industries and investment sectors in implementing the plan. 25th Dhamma Sermon of Asidisi Sadham Sara Dharma series, consecutively organized on every Poya Day by the Employees Welfare Association of the Ministry of Mass Media, was held at the ministry premises today. Minister Bandula Gunawardena and Ministry Secretary Anusha Palpita were present at the occasion. The final rites of the former news presenter of the national television, late Ratna Pushpakumari, will be held at Borella Cemetery tomorrow. Late Ratna Pushpakumari has authored more than 18 books encompassing various subjects including personality development, psychology and the art of presenting. She has also worked as Director of Child Skills Development Program for 25 years.
Stay tuned with international news after this break.
வெளிநாட்டிலிருந்து பணத்தை மக்கள் வங்கிக்கு அனுப்பி வாராந்தம் 1 லட்சம் ரூபாய், மாதாந்தம் 1 மில்லியன் ரூபாய், ஆண்டிறுதியில் மாபெரும் சீட்டெழுப்பில் 1 கோடி ரூபாயினை வெல்லுங்கள். பீப்பிள்ஸ் ரெமிட்டன்ஸ் கோடி அதிர்ஷ்டம். நேரடியாக அனுப்புங்கள், பெரும் வெற்றி காணுங்கள்.
Welcome back after the break. Blasts were heard in Kyiv and several buildings were set ablaze after Russia targeted Ukraine's capital for the third night running. Officials say that the falling debris caused the blazes as Ukraine's air defenses intercepted more than 20 drones. The mayor of Moscow, Sergei Sobyanin, said that at least one person is reported killed. Later, a drone attack has caused minor damage to several buildings. He added that so far no one has been seriously injured. The attacks on Moscow came after another night of drone strikes on the Ukrainian capital. Kyiv's military administration said more than 20 kamikaze drones had been destroyed in the latest attack. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko described the latest attack as massive, urging residents not to leave shelters. The air raid alert was lifted after 3 hours, meaning that the Russian air assault was over for the time being. It was the 17th attack on the capital since the beginning of May, including a rare daytime attack on Monday. Meanwhile, the Indian Meteorological Department has issued heat wave warnings for New Delhi as well as adjoining states Uttar Pradesh and Haryana due to the recurring heat waves. Temperatures in certain areas of the capital New Delhi, which has a population of more than 20 million, recently crossed 45 degrees Celsius, making it one of the hottest days of the year. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, 2023 saw the warmest February since 1901 with a maximum temperature of 29.5 degrees Celsius. The department also said the temperatures will fall as rain showers expected in areas subsumed by heat wave and will provide much needed relief. However, it warned more scorching weather lies ahead in the coming weeks and months.
Prima, cut to me, Fantamai!
Welcome back with your sports update. Moving to the tremendous IPL finals which was held yesterday. MS Dhoni was able to clinch the victory for the fifth time. Chennai Super Kings beating Gujarat Titans in IPL history yesterday with the finals. Same time, I'm Charita signing off with Asia. Stay safe. Good night.